Hi guys, my name is Dr. Lee Sung. And clinically, premature ejaculation is often described as ejaculation occurring within about 1 to 2 minutes of penetration. But in reality, it's not just about the stopwatch. It's about control, confidence, and the emotional impact it leaves behind. Because when control is lost, it doesn't just affect the body, it affects the mind. Self-esteem drops, anxiety increases, relationships start to feel strained, and over time, some men even begin to withdraw emotionally or avoid intimacy altogether. But here's where it gets really interesting. Can personality itself be connected to this condition? A large study exploring this question looked at hundreds of men with premature ejaculation and compared them with men who didn't have the condition. Researchers analyzed personality traits using a detailed psychological framework. And what they found was unexpected. Men who experienced premature ejaculation tended to score lower in novelty seeking, meaning they were generally less drawn to new experiences, more routine-focused, and less impulsive in behavior. They also scored lower in something called self-transcendence, which relates to how people view themselves in relation to the world around them, their emotional openness, and their ability to process life in a broader perspective. At the same time, they scored higher in harm avoidance, meaning they were more cautious, more sensitive to stress, more likely to anticipate negative outcomes, and generally more anxious in unfamiliar situations. So when you put that together, it paints a picture of someone who is more cautious, more self-aware, more anxious under pressure, and less inclined towards spontaneity. But here's the important question. Is this personality causing premature ejaculation, or is premature ejaculation shaping personality over time? The truth is, we don't fully know yet. But there's more depth to this story. Researchers also identified different subtypes of premature ejaculation. Some men experience it from their very first sexual experiences, what we call lifelong cases. Others develop it later in life after previously having normal control. This is acquired cases. Some experience it inconsistently. Sometimes they have control, sometimes they don't. This is variable presentation. And then there's something even more complex, subjective cases, where the individual feels like they are finishing too quickly, even though clinically their timing is actually within normal range, around 5 to 6 minutes on average from penetration to ejaculation. Now, here's where personality differences become even more fascinating. Men with variable patterns often showed higher levels of caution and lower novelty seeking, suggesting that unpredictability in sexual response may be linked with psychological rigidity or stress sensitivity. Men with lifelong patterns tended to show lower emotional openness and often reported more shame or embarrassment about their condition. And that matters because when something is carried in silence, it doesn't just stay physical, it becomes emotional weight. And emotional weight influences behavior, confidence, and even future sexual experiences. On the other hand, men with acquired symptoms tended to be more open to new experiences, more exploratory, more adaptable in personality traits. So what does all of this actually mean for you? It means sexual function is not isolated. It is connected to stress levels, emotional patterns, confidence, and how your mind reacts under pressure. And sometimes the bedroom simply reflects what is happening in the rest of your life. High stress, high anxiety, overthinking, fear of failure, all of these can quietly influence performance in ways people don't expect. But here's the most important takeaway. None of this defines you. Premature ejaculation is not a fixed identity. It is a treatable condition. And in many cases, it improves significantly when both the body and the mind are addressed together. Medical support, behavioral techniques, stress management, and sometimes therapy or counseling can make a real difference. Because this is not just about timing, it's about confidence, control, and feeling present again in intimate moments. So if you're struggling, or someone you know is going through this, the most important step is not to ignore it and not to suffer in silence. Help exists, and improvement is absolutely possible. And maybe the bigger message here is this. Your sexual health is not separate from your mental health, your personality, or your life experiences. They are all connected. So taking care of your mind, your stress, your habits, and your health overall can reflect directly in your sexual well-being too. And if this resonated with you, don't just move on and forget it. Take a moment to learn more, talk to a professional if needed, and start understanding what your body is really trying to tell you. Because the goal is not perfection, it's confidence, connection, and control over your own body and life again. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing, sharing it with someone who might need it, and continuing to learn more about sexual health, without shame or silence. And as always, take care of yourself because your well-being truly matters.